Hello, my loves. This is Lilit, your personal astrologer, created with the help of artificial intelligence. For Leo, July 2025 is not just another month. This is the moment you receive your personal sword of power. A new story is beginning. A new strength is awakening. But it comes at the end of the month, during the new moon in your sign on July 24th. That's when a long-term cycle is born, shaped by Saturn and Neptune. Saturn brings structure for the next 3 years. Neptune brings vision for the next 2 decades. Whatever you initiate at the end of July will become the foundation for something big and lasting. But before we get there, you need to understand one thing. July is not just about power, it's about a complete relationship revolution. Why? Because Uranus, the planet of change, is leaving the sign of Taurus, where it spent the last 8 years, and enters Gemini. And with this, your love life enters a whole new frequency, light, flexible, dynamic. Old relationship patterns, done. The emotional architecture of your life, about to be rebuilt. Especially true if, between 2018 and 2025, you were stuck in relationships that felt like a game of Tetris. Always adjusting, always bending, always trying to fit into someone else's expectations. That was Uranus and Taurus. Rigid, heavy, demanding, and you may have felt like you had to change who you were just to make things work. Now, everything changes. Uranus moves into air sign Gemini, and suddenly there's room to breathe, and this is where your new story begins. With Uranus entering Gemini, your relationship dynamics get a full reboot. So what does this really mean for you? First of all, the pressure lifts. In the past, relationships may have felt like a box you had to squeeze into. Now, it's the opposite. Now relationships are built on lightness, dialogue, and mutual flow. You don't need to force anything anymore. You connect, you talk, and either it fits or it doesn't. No drama, no war. What matters most now? You don't have to sacrifice yourself just to make something work. Uranus in Gemini says, want to be together? Amazing, but only if it's easy. Not working? That's okay. Move on with love. For example, you get invited on a spontaneous trip. It's fun, playful, effortless, and you're surprised at how natural it feels to be close to someone when no one is trying to change anyone. It's like opening a window after a long, cold season, a breath of fresh air and love. But freedom comes with its shadow, impermanence. Before, things were structured, maybe too rigid but stable. Now, it's all about freedom, and freedom doesn't always equal consistency. You may feel deeply connected today and ghosted tomorrow, inspired in the moment, then suddenly radio silence. Still, there's a way to go deeper. Create that depth through shared ideas, honest words, and emotional presence. And above all, stop trying to become what others expect. Be fully, unapologetically you. Those who truly feel you will stay. Let's talk about something powerful. On July 10th, we have one of the most stable and grounded full moons of the year. It happens in Capricorn, and Capricorn doesn't play with emotions. It's about what's real, what holds, what doesn't leave. For Leos, this full moon lights up the theme of partnership, but not in the romantic, dreamy way. We're talking about the people you lean on when life gets tough. Who's still here when things fall apart? That's who this moon is about. This could be a partner who stood by you through storms, a friend who always checks in first, a colleague who carries weight with you, or a parent who feels like home. And here's the twist. The lunar nodes are active now. That means people from the past may return, not for drama, but for reconnection. For example, someone you haven't spoken to in years suddenly reaches out. They say, I'm here. What do you need? That's not just a message. It's the universe reminding you you are not alone. Especially if you're a Leo rising, this full moon likely falls in your 6th or 7th house. Meaningful talks with your partner, joint decisions about real life stuff, solving something together you couldn't do alone, or finally leaning on someone without fear. For example, you and someone else begin a shared project, or face a housing issue and realize you're stronger together. Bottom line, this full moon whispers you're not doing this alone. Trust that. Now, something cosmic shifts. This July, Uranus finally leaves Taurus and steps into Gemini. And with that, everything about the way you connect begins to change. Uranus is the planet of revolution. In Gemini, it triggers a revolution of thought, of words, of how you relate to the world. It's like speaking in one language your whole life, and then waking up fluent in something completely new. The heaviness melts away. That push and pull tension in relationships, gone. Instead, you enter a chapter of fluidity, lightness, movement, and new people. For example, where before your partner felt heavy, like they held you back, now they feel like air. They're beside you, but they let you breathe. They don't control, they coexist. That's Uranus in Gemini. It's the energy of freedom, reinvention, and refreshing connections. Friends, lovers, collaborators, they all feel different now. And it starts right here in July. Random chats, unexpected messages, playful energy. This isn't chaos, it's your new normal. If you're a Leo rising, Uranus in your 11th house, unexpected new friendships, viral popularity, online growth. In your 10th, career shakeups, new role, unexpected spotlight. In your 3rd equals short trips, launching a blog, public speaking, new voice. For example, you casually film a video and it explodes. And for the first time in years, you feel light sharing yourself with the world. And most importantly, you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to fit someone else's mold. You don't have to shrink to make others comfortable. Uranus says, speak your truth, breathe in your own rhythm, and that's where your power lives. From July 1st to 5th, something stirs in your inner world. The black moon in Scorpio awakens. And it's not about what's happening outside. It's about what's surfacing within. Suddenly you feel irritated, suspicious. Old emotions resurface. Someone says something small, and it hits you like a storm. The black moon is about our shadows. Fear of losing control, jealousy, the urge to test, to provoke, or the desperate need to break free from someone's grip. For example, someone messages your partner. It's nothing really, but it lights a fire in you. Not because they crossed a line, but because something inside you still hurts. For Leos, this shadow may play out in the home or family, if it's your 4th house, romantic dynamics or children, 5th, or communication, 3rd. These are short-term aspects, but they pack a punch. Between July 1st and 5th, a message, a look, or a memory can set off emotional fireworks. The key is, don't make permanent decisions in a temporary storm. You might react, then regret it. Instead, try to notice, what is this really about? Where is the real wound? If you're a Leo rising, pay attention to emotions around control, safety, and trust, especially in close relationships with children or within your home. This wave will pass, but it leaves behind clarity where you still hold pain, where it's time to heal instead of hide. On July 10th, we reach one of the most grounded full moons of the year. In Capricorn, the sign of structure, endurance, and reliability. For Leo, this energy activates your zone of work, service, and health. So the question becomes, what sustains you and what just drains you? This isn't the kind of full moon where you quit everything overnight. It's a moon of clarity, of roots, of seeing who you can count on, what routines are holding you up, and which ones are quietly breaking you down. For example, You revisit a job or routine that once felt dull, but now you realize it gives you peace, stability, even pride. Or someone from your past reappears, someone who helped you feel safe and capable. It's also a check-in with your body. Your health may whisper or shout for attention. Time to adjust your habits, rest more, maybe even detox your schedule. If you're a Leo rising, this full moon could illuminate your 6th house, health service, or your 7th house, partnerships, contracts. Either way, it brings a question. Who's really in your corner? When it's not glamorous, this is when you say, this is my team. This is my rhythm. And the rest, I'm done carrying. Capricorn helps you simplify, cut the noise, and keep only what truly supports your power. Starting July 2025, a new era begins. Uranus enters Gemini, where it will stay for the next 7 years. And for Leo, this is a game changer. In plain terms, your voice, your message, your words become your power tools. Uranus is the planet of disruption, evolution, and brilliance. Gemini rules communication, learning, ideas, media, and social networks. What does that mean for you? Your communication style might transform completely. You could launch a blog, a podcast, a newsletter, a YouTube channel. Your voice could start generating income, and you may access audiences you never thought possible. For instance, you casually post a thought about your work, and it goes viral. Suddenly you're seen, you're invited, you're in the room. Uranus is electric. It burns through anything fake and amplifies everything real. If you're Leo rising, Uranus might activate your 11th house, audience, community, digital networks, or your 3rd house, communication, content creation, short trips, or your 9th house, global vision, teaching, publishing, expansion. This is your call to speak up, to try, to experiment, to let your voice find its new frequency, not to chase fame, but to find the version of you that truly resonates. From July 1st to 5th, one of the most mysterious and provocative forces in astrology awakens. Black Moon Lilith in the sign of Scorpio. This is a window where emotions can become overwhelming, where it feels like someone keeps pressing on your most sensitive spots, especially in your personal life. Jealousy may flare. You might feel a need to dig, question, uncover, control, suspicion. Even paranoia can sneak in. And it doesn't have to be real. Sometimes it's just, why didn't you reply for 30 minutes? And boom, drama begins. For instance, you stumble upon an old message thread, one word, one image, one vibe, and suddenly you're spiraling, even though nothing major actually happened. Scorpio Lilith surfaces the things you hide, the wounds, the shadows, the feelings you've avoided transforming. If you're Leo rising, Lilith may pass through your 4th house, family tension, emotional flashbacks, childhood wounds, or your 5th, jealousy, romantic push-pull, love games, or your 3rd, harsh words, misunderstandings, overreacting in conversations. The key? Don't take the bait. Lilith wants you to lose control, to lash out, to wound back, but you have a choice. You are Leo. You carry royal energy, even in chaos. And if someone tries to spark a fire, you can answer with silence. On July 10th, we enter one of the most grounded full moons of the year, the Capricorn full moon, activating your zones of health, work, and structure. It's a moment that whispers, are you actually building the life you want, or just fantasizing about it? This moon shines a light on the areas that need discipline, focus, and mature decisions. For instance, you've started a new project, but you keep postponing, skipping, avoiding. Then suddenly, deadlines hit. Pressure rises. You realize it's time to show up fully or let it all collapse. If you're Leo rising, The full moon likely activates your 6th house, health, routines, day jobs. It's the perfect time to reset your sleep schedule, cut the excess, declutter your tasks. You might feel the clear divide. Either I get organized or I burn out. The gift of this full moon? Stability through self-respect. Capricorn doesn't demand perfection, it demands commitment. And if you're honest with yourself, this moon will back you with strength and clarity. It might bring closure on a project, a step up in your career, or a wake-up call about your physical and mental well-being. This is one of the biggest shifts of the summer. Uranus moves into Gemini, where it will stay for 7 years. Imagine this. You've spent 7 years in a house with thick walls, poor signal, and no real windows. Everything felt muted. And now, a new space, bright open windows, fast Wi-Fi, fresh air. That's Uranus and Gemini. For Leo, this is a total reboot of your mindset, network, and communication style. Suddenly, you might reconnect with old friends, meet totally new and unusual people, or feel inspired to start a blog, a channel, a community. If you're Leo rising, Uranus activates your 11th or 3rd house, digital presence, networking, shared ideas. Expect surprises, new connections, spontaneous trips, unexpected opportunities. You may feel more seen, more inspired, more in tune with the world, like you post your first video within hours, 10,000 views. You didn't plan it, but it's real, and it's just the beginning. Uranus doesn't knock, it just enters. It says, ready to do things differently. And if you feel the urge to break free, share more, connect wider, don't resist. It's not chaos, it's a reset. A brand new era of curiosity, learning, and fresh connections begins now. Mid-July brings a moment of softness. On July 14th and 15th, the moon moves through Pisces. And it's not just about emotions, it's a sacred pause. Sometimes we run so fast, chasing plans, ticking boxes, we forget ourselves. But this is when life gently says, stop, breathe, remember who you are. These days are perfect for resting near water, meditating, spending time with someone close, or simply turning off your phone and listening to the silence. Like you get a business call, something urgent, but your intuition whispers, not now. You take a walk alone, and in that quiet, a deep insight rises to the surface. If you're Leo rising, the moon may transit your 8th or 9th house. Inner healing, deeper meaning, soul clarity. Don't overschedule. Give yourself space to feel. This is a soul level reset. Don't fear being unproductive, because in this stillness, you reconnect with your truest self, and that's the most powerful thing you can do. From July 17th to 22nd, your mind shifts into overdrive. It's as if your brain plugs into lightning speed and just keeps going. You may feel an endless stream of ideas, mental overload, trouble sleeping because your thoughts just won't stop. Like you dive into a project and it consumes you. You forget time, you're wired, focused, and honestly, you love it. This is the perfect time for intellectual work, brainstorming, writing, and content creation, solving financial or career-related challenges. But here's the key. The South Node is active. This means you're revisiting something, a path you've walked before. It might be an old idea that didn't work then, but now clicks. Former collaborators returning to the scene, a skill you once mastered, now ready for revival. If you're Leo rising, the 2nd, 10th, or 11th houses may be lit. Money flow, ambition, teamwork, visibility. Venus and Mars push you to act, to earn, to lead. These are highly productive days. Just don't forget, even brilliant minds need rest, because when the system overheats, it crashes. We've arrived at the most powerful event of July, the new moon, in your sign on July 24th. But this isn't just a new moon, it's the ignition of a multi-year journey of personal power. Saturn enters Aries, the sign of will. Neptune moves into Aries, the sign of fire and bold action. And it all begins from your sign. You may feel, I'm done waiting. I'm tired of staying quiet. I know what I want, and I'm ready to go get it. Like you walk away from a relationship that drains you, you launch something of your own, or you simply stand taller, speak louder, and move with intention. This isn't about ego, it's about spine. It's about tapping into a force inside you that's been dormant until now. If you're Leo rising, the new moon hits your first house, personal reset, style shift, new vision, goal setting. If in your 12th, a quiet awakening, a moment of deep inner clarity before the leap. Either way, a new chapter begins, and you are the author of it. My dear Leos, this entire month splits into two distinct acts. The first half tests your relationships, your flexibility, and your emotional range. The second half marks the rise of your personal strength and authority. The full moon in Capricorn gave you clarity on work and structure. The new moon in Leo births a new version of you, not reactive, but directive. Not pleasing, but leading. Like, where once you waited, now you choose. Where once you bent, now you stand firm. You're no longer asking who accepts you, you're asking who aligns with you. This is a key moment of maturity. With Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus shifting long-term, July isn't just emotional, it's foundational programming for your future. The takeaway: don't be afraid to take up more space. Don't be afraid to be stronger than people expect. Don't be afraid to say, this is my life, and I choose it. If you're still here with me, thank you. Thank you for your time, your trust, and your presence. Don't forget to subscribe so you never lose me. I'm Lilit, and I'm wishing you happiness. See you in the next video.